Hey guys, my name's Adam Newell, and I have Maci Bookout from MTV's Teen Mom here with me right now. And I'd like to start off by, Maci, can you introduce yourself?
I am Maci Bookout, and I am from the show Teen Mom on MTV.
Maci, you started off with 16 and pregnant. Can you tell me how you applied?
My mom actually saw an ad on Craigslist, and I just basically wrote in, and then they called me.
Wow. And then coming from a small town, was that awkward once you did get the call that you were going to be on the show for the cameras and all that?
Well, at first I didn't even want to be on the show. My mom just kept telling me to apply for it, and I kept saying no. And honestly, the only reason I applied was to get her to leave me alone about it. And then when they called me, it was weird. I had to go through like 3-hour-long phone calls twice a week of them asking me like what color my nail polish was, to like just the craziest questions.
Just random questions.
Yeah, it was really weird.
And then once you started walking around and you had the film crew following you for the first season of 16 and Pregnant, how was that?
The first couple times it was really awkward because you have to pretend like they're not there. Mm-hmm. But you have like 10 people and cameras and like a mic on. It was crazy. But after the like newness of it wore off, it was really obnoxious. I absolutely hated it.
And what was your reaction once the show premiered for the first time? Once you actually saw yourself on MTV, how'd you react to that?
Honestly, I didn't ever like think it was like weird that I was on MTV. I don't know. I didn't really think of it like that, but the show was actually a lot more, I guess, like raw and realistic than I thought it was going to be. So watching it was pretty tough. It was hard because I guess I tried to avoid all emotion and everything that I'd gone through, and then when I had to watch it, basically the hardest year of my life, I was like, okay, this is terrible. I never wanted to watch another show after that.
Well, obviously your fans loved it enough to give you a spin-off show of Teen Mom. When you found out that you were going to be on Teen Mom and that they were making a spin-off, what was your reaction to that?
I don't know. It just kind of made sense to continue with another show just because the struggles of like teen parenting don't just stop after the first year. Everything obviously changes and the struggles change, but I thought it was a good idea to show how the struggles never go away once you become a teen parent.
Right. And then after 4 seasons of filming, you obviously started to create a fan base. So was that awkward for you? People wanting to know more about Maci Bookout, what you're doing? And
yeah, it's still awkward. Like, I don't know, I've never thought of myself as like a famous person or anything. So, I mean, I've been, I guess, well known for like 4 years now, and it's still weird when people ask me for pictures and stuff. I don't know, it's just strange.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
And then not only that, you became famous at the same time that you were becoming a parent. So how was it trying to learn how to co-parent with cameras in your face and becoming a new mom? I mean, that's a lot.
I always kept like MTV very separate from my real life. I treated it as like a career rather than, I don't know, my way to fame or whatever. Like, I still to this day don't think of myself as like anyone important, and I don't know, I just kept it very separate because I knew like it could go away just as fast as it came about. But I mean, I always just tried to show the real me and what I was really doing and how I was really parenting. So I just kind of blocked it all out and just lived like I normally would have.
You kept it realistic.
Yeah.
Well, also after 4 seasons, it obviously had its effect on some of the other castmates. You have Amber, who had to serve time in jail. You have Farrah sending out sex tapes. I mean, Caitlyn and her chaos. Were you the only sane one on the show?
You know, I think when the show started, I think everyone had their own issues. But I don't know. I mean, not to like brag on myself or anything, but it takes a lot to deal with filming, because people think that it's easy, but it's not. It's like the most exhausting and annoying hardest job to do. It sounds strange, but it really is. And then on top of that, you have the whole entire world judging your every move and, you know, throwing their 2 cents in on everything that you do. So, I mean, it takes a really strong person to not only be a teen mom, but also to deal with the whole world of MTV. So,
a lot of criticism.
Yeah, I think that they just dealt with it their own way. And, I mean, when it comes down to it, 80% of the girls who have been on the show couldn't deal with it. So, I mean, they turned to drug use and, you know, just off-the-wall things. And I've always just kind of stayed out of it. Like, I never pay attention to anything that is said or going on with MTV because frankly, I just don't care.
So we can agree that you were a trooper through filming.
Yeah.
So is Bentley able to watch the show, or will he be able to watch the show?
He does watch it now. But if I know that it's an episode where, like, his dad and I are fighting or something, then I won't let him watch it. But I think I do want him to see it when he's older, but when we're ready for him to see it and when I think that he's, like, mature enough to understand that me and his dad were kids and we did the best that we could. But I definitely would want to watch it with him. I don't want him to see it, you know, alone or see it at a friend's house. Or
you want to be able to explain it.
Yeah, I want to be able to kind of walk him through it and explain everything.
So he's grown up with the cameras in his face, kind of. I mean, does he know any different? How does he react to it?
I mean, they were there the day he was born and then from then on out. So he thought for a really long time that it was normal and that everyone had a camera crew following them around or that everyone was on TV. But, I mean, we haven't filmed at all for the past year. So I think now he understands that not everyone is like us. But I think that if the cameras were to come back around, he would be like, why are they, like, what's going on? Why are they here? So, I mean, it's been all right. He's dealt with it fine.
So is it hard to keep your MTV work life different from your actual at home, being a mom, you know, having that time with your son? Is it hard to balance both of those?
Like I said before, like, I just always treated it like a job. So, you know, Bentley goes to school during the day and I do everything that I'm supposed to do as far as, like, interviews and, like, my podcast and the radio, like, school, all that stuff I do while he's at school. And then when we both get done with our days and then we come together, I mean, we just play and stuff. But, I mean, the way we live now and the way we lived on camera was never any different. It's always been the same. There just happened to be a camera crew in the room. Right.
And also through filming, Bentley's created his own fan base as well. Yeah. I mean, everybody loves Bentley.
I think Bentley is the actual fan favorite.
After 4 seasons, I mean, Andy's 4 now.
Yeah.
So does he have any hobbies?
Yeah, he races motocross, dirt bikes.
At 4 years old?
Yeah.
And how's that going?
It's good. He actually has a race this weekend. But, I mean, he loves it. Like, I can't get him off of his dirt bike. But, I mean, it's kind of scary. But I can't tell him no.
And he's sponsored, isn't he?
Yeah. He's sponsored by Young and Reckless, Free Gun, USA, Etnies, and I think that's it. Yeah.
But that's still, at 4 years old, I think that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, your fans talk about who is Maci Bookout dating. I mean, they want to know. They always want to know if you have a boyfriend.
I know.
Kyle and Ryan, I mean.
No, I'm not. Me and Ryan are actually on good terms. We're friends, but I'm actually dating someone who lives in Oklahoma. So it's a long-distance relationship. It actually works out for me. People tend to get on my nerves easy.
So it's a lot easier to do a long-distance relationship.
Yeah, plus, I mean, I have Bentley, so, I mean, I don't want to, like, just bring any random person around Bentley. So if I was dating someone here, I wouldn't be able to see them but, like, every other weekend when Bentley goes to his dad's house. So it kind of works out that it's long distance because I don't have to see them that often.
Right. And is it hard for you to be able to decipher if they're, when you start dating somebody, do they want to date Maci Bookout from MTV or the Chattanooga hometown sweetheart, you know?
It's really weird. I can tell within like 2 minutes of meeting someone whether or not they're talking to me because I'm Maci from MTV or because they just, have met me and they want to talk. Like, whether it's a friend or, a boyfriend, like anybody, I can tell right off the bat. And I mean, sometimes people do, just talk to me because I'm from MTV, but then when they realize that I'm like just a normal person, then they actually grow to just like me and they don't care about the MTV thing anymore. But it's very easy to tell. I've done it for long enough to know when someone is genuinely interested in me or MTV.
So real recognizes real.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So do you have any marriage plans? Or, I mean, I also see that a lot.
Absolutely not.
So that's not a big thing coming up.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always a rumor. If all the rumors were true, I would have like 10 kids by now and have been married like 6 times. According to the tabloids.
So you can never help what they post?
No, never.
Well, since the show has ended, are we going to see any more of Maci and Bentley on MTV? Or,
Probably not of Bentley. Since he's older now and like he'll start kindergarten soon, I really want to try to like keep him as normal as he can be because, I mean, not being normal sucks, even if you think of yourself as normal.
Right, because you had the opportunity to grow up normal, so you want the same for him.
Exactly. But as far as me, like, I would never do reality TV again. Even though our show was more of a documentary, I would never do, like, reality or a docuseries again. But I do, like, the after-show hosting for MTV.com and things like that, like, for my career. So you'll see me on MTV, but just not, my life.
Just not Teen Mom.
Right.
Gotcha. So what have you been doing and, like, what have you been up to since filming has ended?
Honestly, like the first 6 months after filming, I just took like a media break. I was like, I don't want to see a camera. I don't want to, do an interview. I don't want to do anything. I just want to, not have anything to do basically. And then since then I've, obviously I go to school. I have a weekly podcast that's basically just for, our generation information, like health tips and beauty tips and, what's going on in the celeb world, like gossip, stuff like that. And then I have a weekly radio show that's local here in town. It's called Ask Maci.
On iHeartRadio.
Yep. It's on 103.7 KISS FM. And actually that's going to be kind of switching gears soon too. I've been doing that for about 5 months, and I think we're going to move it into more of like a radio DJ role rather than an Ask Maci thing. Because I'm trying to, like, as much as possible, get away from myself and then, like, move into just career mode where it's not about me, it's about other things and, like, what's happening in the world, not just me, because I kind of find myself very boring. But
you're trying to advance from Teen Mom to an actual career.
Right.
And stabilize.
Yes.
It's understandable.
Yes.
And you've also, been quite the jet setter, going all over America, going to New York, Los Angeles. Can you tell me a little bit about those experiences?
Yeah. I've been pretty much all over the country. I fly somewhere at least once a week, but it's for, most of the time it's for public speaking. And I go to high schools and universities. And at high schools, I really just try to talk about teen pregnancy prevention and safe sex and things like that. And then at colleges, it's more of like an inspirational, like motivational lecture. But then, I've also gone to all kinds of places. That's one thing that I think MTV has kind of blessed me with, is being able to travel and like see the country and like every bit of it. So, it's been fun, but it's definitely exhausting.
So you would say MTV's affected your life in a positive way?
Whenever people ask me how MTV changed my life, the only thing that I can think to say is that is the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
That's intense.
It is. Like, it's like one of the biggest blessings, but at the same time, like, such a pain in my ass. Like,
I can see it. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, you're also in college right now. You go to Chattanooga State.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan on furthering your education after that, or
I haven't really decided right now. I'm just on a 2-year plan, and I think my goal was kind of to finish at Chatt State and then see where I'm at and see what I actually want to do, and kind of make a decision after that. So I don't know. We'll see.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, after you graduate, when that time does come, do you plan on staying in Chattanooga where you were born and raised, or after traveling all over the world, is there a more appealing place for you?
I would never move out of the South. Like, everywhere else is cool, and I'm thankful that I got to see every place else, but it's honestly like made me realize that I could never live anywhere but the South. So, I mean, not Chattanooga necessarily. If I have a good job and stuff here, then I would definitely stay here. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind for like a job opportunity or something moving to like Nashville or Knoxville or, Atlanta, but I definitely could never leave the South.
Because there's nothing like Southern hospitality.
Right. There's nothing like it. I belong in the South for sure.
Well, with that being said, do you have any advice for teenagers who are thinking about having sex? Or, do you have anything to say to them?
I don't know. I just always, I'm not stupid and I'm not naive, so I don't try to hide from the fact that I know teenagers are having sex. So I honestly just try to, tell them to get condoms or get on birth control, because girls can go to the health department by themselves. They don't have to have a parent consent, and they can get on birth control, and it's free. And boys can go to the health department and get condoms for free, and they don't have to have a parent's consent. So unless you want your entire world to be upside down and basically terrible for like a year, because all you have is like this kid that you love so much that all they do is like poop and eat and cry. Like, that's it. Like, would you rather hang out with your friends or do that? So I don't know. It's so easy to go get birth control or condoms that it's like ignorant to not do it.
So unless you're planning it, it's like there's almost no excuse.
Right. And you definitely should not be planning it if you're a teenager. That's
right.
Ridiculous.
Well, before we go, is there anything that you want to add for the record for your fans, or anything you want to say?
I don't think so. No.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Maci. That's all the time we have today.
You.
And I just want to say I appreciate you taking the time. And if anybody else wants to follow Maci and see what her and Bentley are doing, you can follow her on Twitter at Maci Bookout, MTV. And, I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.